Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakadash. Yahweh been the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai been the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. We're going to get into this prophecy about the Israelites being immortal and being promised immortality way before Apostle Paul came on the scene, way before Yahweh Shai came on the scene and broke down how they would be turning into immortals. Okay, and how Yahweh Shai told his disciples how this situation was going to happen. Now, when you go into, let's see here, when you go into King David's writing, King David addressed the situation. Let me get a couple of those verses where King David talked about immortality. This is Psalms. Let's see here. Psalms 37. Psalms 37. It says here in verse, let's see, verse 29 or 26. Let me try 27. It says, depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment and forsake not his saints. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell there forever. So you had King David talking about the Israelites living forever. Okay, then you had was another one with King David being promised eternal or everlasting kingdom. Okay, I think that was in Chronicles, First Chronicles. Let's see if I can find that. First Chronicles or Second Chronicles. First Chronicles 17. Okay. Let's get let's see here. What is it? Verse 11. It says, and it shall come to pass when your days be expired, that thou must go be with your fathers, that I will raise up your seed after you, which shall be of your sons, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build me an house, and I will establish his throne forever. Look at verse 14 to get to the point. It says, but I will settle him in my house and in my kingdom forever, and his throne shall be established forevermore. So you had King David and these Israelites talking about everlasting life, man, and their kingdom being forever. It wasn't something that they was just gonna experience for 70 years, for 40 years. Okay, it was an everlasting situation. Now I'm thinking Ezekiel 37 goes into that too. And then Daniel talked about forever, that the saints is gonna take the kingdom and be in this kingdom forever. So in order to do this, this is gonna take you to have that you're gonna live forever. But let's go into Yahweh's words, because that's what really I want to get, because we got a lot of verses that goes into this everlasting kingdom. But Yahweh said something many times, and people in Christianity try to say that he talking about living in heaven forever. He ain't talking about no heaven, man. This is 6, John 6, and I think it's around in the 40s, because what he was telling them, they weren't understanding. They was thinking he was talking crazy. He was going 38. He said, "For I came down from heaven, not to do my will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is my Father's will, which have sent me, that of all which he have given me I shall not lose, but shall raise it again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which seeth the Son and believe on him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day." Now he's going into this hymn. He's not talking about everybody on the earth. He's talking about the Israelites. You see, he's telling you that the Israelites that believe on him is going to have everlasting life. This is not talking about everybody, man. Let's jump over to 8 to get to the point. 8 and was it 26 or 51? Yeah, 8 and 51. It says, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, if a man keep my sayings, he shall never see death." He shall never see death. Okay, so this is what Yahweh was telling them. Verse 52, it say, "Then said the Jews unto him, Now we know that thou hast a devil." See, and that's why these people can believe into this Christianity, because this is a hard concept. This is hard for these Israelites to understand. Hard for these Jews to understand. He say, "Abraham is dead and the prophets, and thou said, if a man keep my saying, he shall never taste death." So they saying, well, he told them they were going to have everlasting life, and they believed on him, and they died. See, that's not what he was talking about. He's talking about that they're going to be immortal. Even though they're going to die, they still not going to have that, the death that these people thinking about. They're going to come back to life, and they're going to be immortals. See, now let's go on to, is it 11? He talks about it again in 11 when he resurrected Lazarus. He says in 26, he said, "And whosoever live and believe in me shall never die. Believest thou this?" Seeing they thinking, oh, the people still died. So what is he talking about? But he's saying shall never die. And he's talking about these Israelites. He's talking about the immortality of the Israelites. That they're gonna be living forever. Let's go into what is it? Hebrews? Hebrews, no, not Hebrew. It's another one that he's breaking down this immortality. Or was it Apostle Paul? Let's see here. Not Luke. I'm thinking Revelation. This is what I'm thinking about. You got Revelation 20. Revelation 20, he talked about the book of life. Okay. And that tree of life supposed to have been forever. Now, let me see what I'm trying to get to. Let's see here. So you got Daniel talking about the everlasting life. You got Ezekiel saying that this kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom. Oh, that's Zechariah. Let me get to Zechariah. Because this is what people ain't understanding. They hearing. Because see, they'll try to say, oh, that everlasting don't literally mean everlasting. No, it literally means everlasting. This is Zechariah, not Ezekiel. Zechariah 8. Zechariah 13 and 8. Salaki. It says, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord before them. Okay, so this is how this immortality and this never tasting death and never dying is going to take place, because they're going to be like the angels of the Lord. Okay, this is why he can make statements like he did in Psalm. King David kept saying it multiple times. He didn't just say it that, oh, they're going to inherit the earth forever. No, he said how, who they going to be when they inheriting this earth forever. It was going to have us be special people. He says, verse, what is it? Verse 6 says, I said, ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. Okay, but ye shall be like men, you shall die like men. So they was going to die and fall like one of the princes. See, but just because they died, that don't mean that they wasn't going to get this eternal blessing, or this everlasting blessing, or this immortality. When you go into Psalms, it was also said in Psalms, not Psalms, it was saying, it said, oh man, it's another one. I'm not thinking of Psalms, I'm thinking of a different one. It's talking about, say, ye are gods. Oh, Isaiah, that's what I'm thinking about. Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45:17, it says, but Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. See, and this is when he get into saying, he's creating, no, that ain't the new heavens and new earth. But let me get that, and I'm thinking it might have said that in 60, but this is what 65 was talking about. Salakia. It says in verse 17, it says rejoice. Yeah, verse 17, it says for behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, the former shall not be remembered nor come to mind, but be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I created. For behold, I create Jerusalem rejoicing, and her people a joy. Okay. And it says, and I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. Says, there shall be no more thence an infant of days, or an old man that have filled his days, for the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. So he pretty much saying it's not gonna be these old people. See, these the sinners is gonna be dying, but it's not gonna be people dying of old age, because they're gonna be immortal, man. Okay, let's see here, because this is what is reiterated with Apostle John in Revelation 21. And I just want to get the 4th verse. It says, God shall wipe away all the tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for former things have passed away. Now I remember that Hebrews verse. Should be no more death. They're not going to see death. They're not going to taste death. This is what he was talking about. Hebrews 8. And I want to get verse 10. It say, for this is the covenant which I have made with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my laws in their minds, write them in their hearts, and they shall be a people, and and I will be their God, and they shall be a people to me. So this is what he was talking about in Revelation, because he said there's not going to be no more death, because I'm going to put the laws in their heart, and they're not going to be sinning. See, these other people are going to be sinning, but the Israelites not going to be sinning, because the law is going to be in their heart, and they're going to be immortal. Okay? They're going to be immortal. Let's go back. He said they shall be a people, and I shall be their God. That's what he said in Revelation 21. Before he said there would be no death. He said, and I heard a voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. See, this is what he was talking about. That heaven, that new heaven and that new earth, people gonna be dying of sin, not of old age. And you got pretty much that's what he was bringing out, the point of they not gonna be dying of old age. They gonna be everlasting immortals. Now when you go into Daniel, because I quoted Daniel, let's get what he said. 18, it said, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever, and forever, even forever and ever. So this is what he's talking about, man. The Israelites being immortals and living forever, and these Christians thinking they're gonna be some Israelites, and they don't understand the promises. This was promised to the Israelites as a blessing. See, he was blessing the Israelites with this immortality, because